From the front lines of the info war, broadcasting from somewhere in El Dorado County, specifically the El Dorado County Sheriff, Office of the Sheriff, Support Services Division, Civil Section. This is Eddie El Dorado from the Hangtown News Network. Today we're going to put our cards on the table. It's a winning hand. And in today's world, YouTube, Twitter, and Google, you can't cover up bullshit no more. We have to remind all the civil servants out there, this ain't your private club. It belongs to we the people. And some of us people are extremely smart. We know how to read. We know how to look up the laws. You can't cover it up anymore. And it's been said a long time ago that revenge is a dish best served cold. So El Dorado County, back in 2002, you stole my little girl from Marshall Hospital from bogus information from the Midwest. It turned into a battle royale at the El Dorado County Courthouse. Little old me against all your highfalutin attorneys. It was a 9-month court battle. Me against CPS, Child Pirate Service. It was modeled after Adolf Hitler's plan of Lebensborn, where they steal children from the parents and give them to worthy Nazi officials. Well, you can't hide it no more. You can't cover it up anymore, because in 2002 there was no YouTube. But now in 2018, it's everywhere. So I'm making this record official right from your back door. You can't do nothing about it. You can't cover it up. You can't sweep it under the rug as it never happened. This is my story. Let's see yours. There are thousands of pages of transcript that you faxed over from Minnesota. I actually felt sorry for the lawyers that were assigned to me that had to wheel in grocery carts full of paper. And that was all from Minnesota, the Midwest, Jackson County, Missouri, places in Iowa, everywhere I've been in a fight with the powers that be. Now, at the time in 2002, I was going by the name of Wolfgang Anacon. That's my legal name. I have another name, Eddie Ibache, and now I'm called Eddie El Dorado, just to piss you off, because I am the voice of El Dorado County, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. El Dorado County put me through 9 months of court battle, me against an entire battery of CPS lawyers. Guess what? I won the case. How did I do that? Well, the birth certificate that they gave me from Marshall Hospital, it took a while to process at the state of California. I knew they were slow, and they couldn't process all this paperwork in a hurry. So what I did, I made up my own birth certificate called an Asseveration of Christian Birth. I had the doctor who delivered my child sign it. Then I posted it in the legal newspaper of record, the Mountain Democrat, and then I filed it at the El Dorado County Recorder's Office. And what that did, it was a title. Birth certificate is a title. In other words, a claim. I had the first claim, first title on my child, registered in El Dorado County. You could look that up. Wolfgang Anacon, asseveration of Christian birth, El Dorado County Recorder's Office. And what that did, in effect, I had the first claim, first title on my child, and I called CPS in El Dorado County claim jumpers. Let that sink in. Since I had the first title, first in line, first in time, I had legal title or claim to my child. El Dorado County and all other comers were claim jumpers, right? And claim jumpers ain't real welcome out here in El Dorado County. But since CPS, in their misguided information, I'm not going to say all of them are evil, but quite a few of them actually are, man. They are freaking evil. They will take your children without hesitation. The social workers will call in bogus reports, make shit up on their own, just to take your kids, especially if they're blonde-haired and blue-eyed. CPS, Child Pirate Service. And I call them social wreckers, because they try to wreck my family, but they did not succeed. They did not count on little old me against a whole battery of their lawyers. And when I won that case here in El Dorado County, the judge at the time, he shook my hand. He said, I have never, ever seen a single person take on CPS and win hands down. Now, I did not sue El Dorado County for $50 million, although I could, and I still could. The point is moot. I won the case. I got my child back, and I continued on with my life. But here in 2018, no county in the United States is a private, exclusive club. You work for us. We don't work for you. We know how to read laws. We know how to file paperwork. We know how to do briefs. Exactly. And if you're sick of all these laws that seem to bury you in the sand, here's what I want you to do. You look up a group called Fully Informed Jury Association and say no to bad law. That is the only way to reverse the stranglehold on bad law. Because if the jury will not return a guilty verdict, they're screwed. You're a genius at the voting booth, but a moron when it comes to the jury box. Why is that? Because you have the judge, who is supposed to be learned in the law, tells you what to do in jury instructions. The judge is supposed to be a referee, not the trier of the case. The jury is the trier of the case. And all you lawyers out there who just dropped your underage secretaries, you know exactly what I mean. A lot of us out here know the law. We've had to study it because we've been buried by lawyers. I worked with a guy named John Wolfgram, who used to work for the El Dorado County District Attorney. Oh my God. Everybody in El Dorado County watching this, especially the people who work for the DA, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, I learned a lot from him. I know where all the bodies, figuratively, are buried. I know a lot about El Dorado County. My family grew up here. My mother had a house on Greenstone Road. It was actually called Reservation Road at the time, if you remember that. $1.5 million spread. My dad had quite the business around here, and since they're not public figures, no, I'm not going to tell you their name. Just take that to heart. I've been around here a long time. My family was a pioneer family. I will tell you that my mother's maiden name was Walsh. W-A-L-S-H. They came over from Boston on a ship called the St. Mary's around the Horn of Africa in 1850. Yeah, my family's been here a long time. So El Dorado County, some of you guys are oath keepers in the sheriff's department, aren't you? I'm on your side. I have high amount of respect for the law. But some of these paper pushers have no respect for the law. So we should either vote them out of office or persuade them to resign, one way or the other. Nicely and friendly, of course. But you can't hide this shit anymore, man. Sorry. It's going out worldwide on YouTube, and you can't shut me up. You can't bury me in paperwork like you did before. It ain't gonna happen. So this is Eddie El Dorado from the Hangtown News Network, somewhere in El Dorado County, specifically at the El Dorado County Sheriff, Office of the Sheriff, Support Service, Civil Section. And let me remind you, I don't have civil rights. I have constitutional rights that you cannot take away. Let that sink into your little pea brain.